I'm sitting here today with Dr. Alan Schoen. Thank you very much for having me at this beautiful retreat. We won't say where it is exactly. All your career, starting at Cornell, with a very classic Western training, and now your progression through the ancient healing arts, and then combining that with our latest understandings in neurophysiology, latest technology advances like lasers, only for you it started back in the 80s when you started incorporating those into your practice. But throughout your life you've been on a journey. And what was the major focus? What was your real objective in setting out on this path? Because something's been carrying you along, and it seems like it's all about getting to the big picture.
Exactly, Mark. And welcome to this little piece of paradise here. And it's a joy to share this with you. Yeah, if someone, I've been asked, like, what is that theme that has driven you always looking at the bigger picture? And if I had to say, and I say this in a number of my books for the public and in the new book, The Compassionate Equestrian, is if you have to summarize it, my quest has always been what is ultimate healing. And I'm grateful I was able to start with such a wonderful foundation in medicine and surgery at Cornell University College of Veterinary Medicine. And then after a couple of years out in practice in New Hampshire, treating all creatures great and small, living that James Herriot dream, and each moment I didn't know if I'd be treating a cow, a horse, a sheep, a pig, an alpaca, a dog, or a cat, and what I'd be doing. I was very grateful for that training in treating everything with Western medicine and surgery up to that point. And I was feeling a little bit frustrated when there were way more animals than I'd like to admit that we didn't have good choices for, good options, and we either had to have them live in pain or be euthanized or live with a condition where they were suffering. And so what I found was my passion was what could we do to help those animals? And interestingly enough, one of my first teachers was Dr. Forrest Tenney, one of my mentors in that practice, who was the first veterinarian to use penicillin on a bull, and in the back of his practice he would have little bottles of different herbs and different things before we had conventional, more modern medications. So that kind of opened my mind. And then I was introduced to veterinary acupuncture when there was, maybe 30 or 50 of us in the United States that were doing it. And because of my background and my master's degree in neurophysiology and animal behavior, when I first got introduced to acupuncture, this light bulb went on in me saying, oh my gosh, this is applied neurophysiology. This is taking all the understanding of neurophysiology and offering it to be able to be used therapeutically to help the animals. So I was the first one that started integrating the neuroscience and the neurophysiology of acupuncture and the ancient traditions and how they worked together. They were not the antithesis, but they validated each other. Once I got exposed to that, then it opened my mind that there was more to healing than just medications and surgery. So then that led me onto a path of Chinese herbs, nutrition, the whole Chinese medical approach of addressing mind and body. And with that, interestingly enough, during one of those first training sessions in acupuncture, I was introduced to a laser, and one of the earlier models. And I had been limping from being kicked by a cow in veterinary school, and the orthopedic surgeon said, get used to limping. And there it was, and one of the other veterinarians used the laser on me, and oh my gosh, the pain, the inflammation went away, and that was the end of my limp. And I said, whoa, so right back there in 1982, there it was, and I had experienced the healing power of lasers and low photon therapy. So my mind was open to both the most ancient traditions and the latest technology. And I could see instantly how they blended beautifully. So my journey then took me into just this passion for exploring all the different options to help animals that couldn't be helped any other way. that took me to the Animal Medical Center, and at that time, the early 80s, it was the #1 place to study small animal medicine and surgery in the world. It was the largest animal hospital outside of any veterinary school. And they went, when they started seeing how I was able to help animals that couldn't be helped in any other way with acupuncture, they brought me in and we established the first department of veterinary acupuncture outside of Asia.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, we'll do a study here. And after we've recommended euthanasia, that there was nothing more that medicine and surgery could do, we'll send them to you for acupuncture. How's that? And I went, okay. I'm not, and I chose my cases carefully and only took ones that I thought acupuncture could be beneficial. Mm-hmm. But 80% of them got better. Mm-hmm. So it opened the minds of everyone there. And then we started expanding into other modalities. So from there, I went on to, in my own practice, selling my conventional veterinary practices and saying, I'm going to start a referral practice just with animals that can't be helped any other way and see what else I could do. Mm-hmm. And that took me again into all the different ancient healing modalities as well as the latest technologies and how they all fit together. And then into nutrition, herbs, chiropractic, the human-animal bond, osteopathy, manual therapies, physical therapies, and all through that, laser permeated it because I kept on seeing where it could apply. But the challenge was, back then, the lasers didn't penetrate as deeply, and even though there were a lot of claims, there wasn't a lot of research. Mm-hmm. And in the textbook that I edited, The Complementary and Alternative Veterinary Medicine in 1998, we had a whole chapter by Dr. Ponton, one of the pioneers in the neurophysiology of laser therapy and low-level photon therapy, and we had all the research that was available at that time. What I'm so impressed with is that you've actually been supporting tremendous research that came out in the Pillars paper, Validating Multiradiance Laser Technology, with Dr. Lau in Sao Paulo at the university, and you've backed it up with saying, let's see what is happening, and he's done incredible research on that. Mm-hmm. And then you also put it together and made it practical for the veterinarians, so that you came out with both a small animal and an equine protocol manual. Couldn't be easier. So the two criticisms and the two challenges that we have with all the different natural therapies and how to integrate them were, one, where's the scientific validation? And two, how do you practically apply it day to day to make it practical in veterinary practice so veterinarians can bring it in, have either them or their technicians doing it, and how it can be integrated so smoothly into practice. And you did both, which that is what, when we first met at the North American Veterinary Conference, what got me excited about it. I went and I said, I need to update myself. There's so many new lasers out on the market. And I studied, listened to each one, the pros and cons of whether it was a class 2 or a class 4, the different types, the pulsing of it versus regular treatment, the different frequencies and everything. And I have to say, well, that's why we're sitting here chatting, is I was so impressed that, again, you did the research, you validated it, you've made it practical protocols, and it's a joy. And in the few months that I've been using it since then, it has made my life easier, where it's so much easier to do acupuncture points that may be difficult to do, like ones around the coronary band of a horse, or one's on the back on a horse that doesn't want to be touched. It's had negative experiences, has needle phobia, and how do you do it? And your laser, because they're so handy, they're so portable, like this, that, gosh, you don't have to have it plugged in, you don't have to worry that a horse is going to kick that, you don't have to worry if you're doing electroacupuncture, you have all the needles in and all the wires that the horse freaks out. You just go like that, boom, and you're on the points, and you're treating them. And you can see instantly the horse is relaxing. You're getting the generalized endorphin release. So you're having the therapeutic effect instantly.
Right.
I love that. And in the small animals, how easy it is. Again, the dogs or cats that they're not crazy about needles, or the points are, it's points where it's difficult to put needles. You can just go like this and treat them. It's incredible. It's made my life easier. And I love sharing. Whenever I teach all over the world, what I love is sharing practical things that make the veterinarian's life easier and enables them to heal animals, help them heal even better, more thoroughly, and faster, and pain-free.
And then we took it up a step, because the worst words to hear as a dog or a cat, let's go to the vet. And now you have something safe enough to put into your client's hands. How much is that starting to impact the practice where they can treat it at home?
Well, my clients are thrilled because, when I say, okay, you need to come in twice a week or 3 times a week, and they say, well, I live 50 miles away, I live 30 miles away. Everyone is busy. There's more and more traffic. That's the challenge. Instead of, one of the easier things about giving a pill is here, you take it, you go home, right? The challenge with that, though, is most of the non-steroidals, if you look at the list of potential side effects, and then the interaction with other drugs, compliance, side effects, everything. So now with this, I can tell a client, okay, after initial treatment or 2, and when you feel comfortable, we can train you. You can rent one of these, go home, do it every day on your animal. You can sit there as you're watching TV, listening to music, talking to your family, and instead of just petting your animal, you can be helping them therapeutically just using laser over the points that we teach you and how to do it, and they are thrilled. They are just thrilled. And I'm thrilled. Anything that I can do to increase client compliance, make the clients happier, make the animals happier, make everyone healthier and happier, that's what we're here for as veterinarians.
Exactly.
So it's just making life so much easier. I'm thrilled.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure meeting with you, and we certainly appreciate your support. And we certainly see great ways to blend these technologies in the future, and we're really looking forward to your book coming out in April of 2015, The Compassionate Equestrian. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. It's, again, the laser is part of the compassionate approach, looking for healthy, happy, easy ways to facilitate healing.
Great.
So, thank you.